Sounds clear to me.
Where's it from?
No, what is that from?
Willy Wonka. And when they transformed the little kid Mike, they call him Mike TV. And like they finally shrink him. And he's like, am I coming in clear?
That movie is so fantastic. I can't wait till my kids are old enough to appreciate all the weird movies I'm going to show them.
Oh, boy.
Cheers.
Cheers, man.
You want to say what this stuff is?
Shit, let me get the bottle.
It's tasty. It sure is tasty.
It's an imperial stout with coconut, toasted coconut, caramel, and Madagascar vanilla. By Tripping Animals.
Tripping Animals. What's it called?
It's called Quesillo for Days.
Oof. That is some.
That's real good, isn't it?
Yeah. See, this is a beer I like to be consumed in small glasses.
Yeah, you don't need a whole mug of that. You just need about 4 refills of the little cup.
So it stays cool.
Right. Or so you stay hydrated. Can be out here in a freaking cotton mouth the whole day.
Oof, Cottonmouth. That is the worst. The worst.
Yeah, man. You can knit a sweater or something. It'd be so bad.
Well, what's giving you all that Cottonmouth?
The chronic. Bro, I've had some bad cotton mouth. Where like people try to talk to me, I'm like, like I'd start miming and shit because I just can't communicate, dude.
You know, I'm guilty of, I don't talk to people because I'm not even listening to them. People will have full on conversations with me and I won't hear a word they say. I'll just be so cotton mouthy.
Like your mouth is so dry it's starting to affect your hearing.
Yeah, I'm just like thinking about the cotton mouth and ignoring people.
You're like, I can't process thought.
Because I'm a terrible person.
Like all it is probably like a 15 to 20 foot walk to whatever other room that's nearest you. Go get a drink.
No.
Yo, that when that lazy hit.
That indica, you're just going to be in the couch.
Is that why they call it that?
I don't know. I've heard that it's bullshit. Like the indica sativa thing is bullshit. But that's a different podcast, actually,
right?
That my wife does.
Which all of you guys can listen to.
Yeah, go find them, pot smoking moms. But if you're listening to us, it's because you like music.
Right. And we are Souvenir Sounds.
Oh, yeah. Souvenir Sounds. Okay, so here's a memory, right?
Oh,
my grandpa gave me like this weird CD. It was, like the days of AOL, right? So it was like this little CD and it had a bunch of different artists on it. Was he ever on Sony? Was he on a Sony label? Or was he always on Interscope? He was on, I know he was on TVT.
Yeah, he was on TVT with Pretty Hate Machine and Broken. And I believe Fixed as well. And it was all the drama with them that led to such a big gap from Pretty Hate to Downward Spiral.
Well, this CD, it had like a bunch of weird stuff on it. It had like Zydeco music. I think it had like Crash Test Dummies. And yes.
Just aged ourselves.
Dummy. Of Dumb and Dumber fame. That's
wow.
Yeah. Think about that movie for a minute and go watch it. It's always on. So yeah, in this CD, it had I think it had like a hole on it. And that was probably the first time I heard it. And then, like I said, after that was with James. Another interesting CD I have, and I'm gonna bring you one. I don't know, did I ever give you one? So you remember my friend Chuck?
Yeah.
So Chuck is a buddy of mine. He had a studio. I used to hang out with him a lot and help him in his studio, record stuff and plug stuff in.
You can say shit, it's fine.
Lots of cables. I'm trying not to, I'm trying not to use profanity. So Chuck, back in the day, he lived in Pennsylvania somewhere, and he went to like Berkeley and stuff. So at one point, he had like a little local radio show, and he had a band called Option 30 on.
Oh.
So Option 30 was a band that Trent was in, and they did a lot of like 80s covers. They did like their Commissar, and they did like, I guess what is that, like new wave music?
Right. Yeah, like shit like Gary Newman,
Yeah.
New Order,
So
Joy Division, I'm sure some of the earlier stuff.
yeah, so they were playing that kind of stuff, and Chuck interviewed them as a band, and it's on their CD. So the demo that they put out has the interview with Chuck on it.
What
And
the
Chuck
hell?
had a freaking stack of these things. And he's like, hey, man, you like Nine Inch Nails? And I was like, yeah, I love Nine Inch Nails. He's like, here, check this out. I got to interview them.
That's awesome.
And it's, and just to hear them all talking. And he had shown me like a video he had of them too one night playing at some bar.
Down here?
No, like up wherever they were at. I want to say, I know he's from Pennsylvania. I don't know if he did the little show in Pennsylvania. I don't know if he did that somewhere else. But isn't Trent from Pennsylvania too?
Yeah.
Yeah, so
He's from up there.
that sounds about right. So the timeline, that is where the timeline begins, right?
Yeah, for me it was, I mean, growing up I was not into rock at all. Definitely not the heavier shit.
I always knew you as a hip hop head.
Right? So for me, like I was aware of them in middle school, and especially around the time when Broken dropped. I was still in middle school and Fixed, but it wasn't until Closer that I was like, what the fuck? Like I would see the logo. I'm like, okay, I recognize that's a band called Nine Inch Nails. But if that shit is not Dr. Dre, Snoop, or maybe some Tribe Called Quest, like I was not about that shit.
Right.
I don't know. I saw the Sweet Dreams video one day, and that broke my soul. And then it was shortly after that I saw the video for Closer. And that's when I fell in love with the medium of music videos. It was all like, it all hit me at once.
Really?
Yeah, it was that video specifically. Mark Romanek. He also did The Perfect Drug.
So you never dug like anything else on MTV like before that?
I was aware of all that stuff.
Just
Like I was aware of Nirvana and Soundgarden and Metallica's and the Megadeth and some super early KMFDM because of the Mortal Kombat soundtrack. Even though I didn't like half the shit on there.
So what drew you to it was like just
It's the right amount of
like art, the
complete
artistic.
different. Yeah, it was just different than what I was into at the moment. It was almost like when you scratch a little bit in the surface and you look in, you're like, oh man, that's some scary shit in there. Like that's what it was to me. I was like, oh, it's not just all the other stuff that I've heard. There's all this other music that sounds like it's made by machines.
It sure did sound like that.
I mean, to a point where that song, The Becoming, it's almost him becoming a machine.
Listen, the evolution of his music from Pretty Hate Machine to Downward Spiral was, because you hear all the layers on Downward Spiral and you're just like, oh, Pretty Hate Machine was made with a fucking Casio keyboard.
And played by him, entirely by a Trent.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
No, and that's how there was a stark difference from the demos for Pretty Hate and then what finally made it on the album.
Oh, I'm sure. I've never heard any of that.
You've never heard it?
No.
It's really good. Ring Finger was called Twist. It had a different name. Get Down, Make Love was part of the original sequencing of the album.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
and
that's why when they remastered.
That's a Queen cover, right?
Yeah, that's one of my favorite covers they have.
Do they have more covers?
Hell yeah.
What else do they cover?
Metal.
True.
Things Falling Apart.
Yeah, that's a pretty good cover too. I like that one. I didn't really know that song.
The song, the David Bowie Fashion that I was playing when you came in.
Oh,
I know it's a recent cover, but
right.
It's technically Nine Inch Nails because it's Trent and Atticus Ross, the only two official members.
True.
And he did the Yoko Ono, had his wife on it.
Really?
Yeah.
Well.
Yeah, but she's such a badass that whatever.
Well, they were in How to Destroy Angels together, right?
Yeah, around the time that his Hesitation Marks dropped. That's why those two albums, I love those two projects. Like I hear one and I have to hear the other one, maybe not right after, but like in that same day.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's like I hear the Fragile, I hear Left, and maybe an hour or two later I'm going to want to hear Right. Because I mean, most of my favorite songs come, like period from them, come off of Left.
Yeah. I got that for like Father's Day or something. I got the reissue, the anniversary reissue.
Such a sweet looking box.
The liner has like a great essay by Bob Ezrin, who did the arrangement of all the songs, and he talks about how when they were recording that album, they were in like an old funeral parlor, and they just gave him like a bunch of hard drives, and they were like, here's what we've got so far. It was like, all right, go put it in order. And Bob Ezrin was the guy who did like The Wall.
Yeah, he's old school.
He did a bunch of like classic albums.
But this vinyl version of The Fragile, man, it had extra tracks like 10 Miles Highs on it.
Yeah.
The New Flesh, Appendage.
I mean, my favorite track off of there is Even Deeper. And if you look at the... Hey, you got
yeah.
Is that in your show notes?
Yeah, my top, like I made a list of my top 5 songs.
Top 5 songs? Oh, yeah. Okay, all right. So, well, there you go. Even Deeper, definitely my favorite track off of The Fragile.
You want to do this in order, or do you want to do this just like spitball your 5?
I mean, I guess we could do it in order. All right, let's go. Pretty Hate Machine. I mean, it's probably Ring Finger.
Oh no, I'm talking about just
all top 5. Oh,
it's not an open book test, buddy.
See, that's
it's rough. It's rough.
The last one, I got to listen to all the Rage playlist before we recorded. I haven't heard
it's all good.
The Nin playlist, but top 5. I mean, that song's there, and the reason I like that song too is because when I read in the liner notes that Dr. Dre helped on that track.
Hell yeah.
And then later on, I don't know did you see what's the HBO doc that they did?
The Defiant ones?
The Defiant ones, where there's like pictures of them because they were both signed to Interscope, and there's just pictures of them in the studio together, and I was like, wow, like how, like, to be a fly on the wall during those sessions and just like listen to Dr. Dre and Trent Reznor talk about music would have just been like mind blowing.
Right? The soundscapes that those two guys have created in their respective careers is crazy.
Yeah. Just, I mean, Dr. Dre.
Specifically Dre's last album, Compton.
Listen,
although it's no Chronic or Chronic 2001.
I like that album better than Chronic 2001. I think that album, just because he got like a fresh group. Well, not completely fresh, but that Justice and Mez and Anderson .Paak was all over that before he really kind of like,
I mean,
he was already popular, right? Dude, I think that album and Kendrick is on there too. Kendrick Lamar, yeah, that's an amazing
like 3 tracks or something like that.
And I didn't hear anybody talking about that. Not a single song on the radio, and I was just like, how are none of these tracks on the radio? But anyway,
yeah, Even Deeper. There was a really dope remix of it too. It's just for some reason that song, just that thump. It doesn't sound like Dre, but you hear it, you are not surprised that he's on it.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't sound like somebody can rap over it, but that beat drops and you're like, what's this?
Yeah. It was like, if you weren't listening, you wouldn't expect that from him. You'd expect that from some sort of, some like breakbeats band, like an Aphex Twin or Orbital or something, like you wouldn't expect to hear him drop that kind of beat on one of his songs. And it's so like haunting too. It's such like a somber song. So good. Just wow. What an album. I enjoy listening to that with headphones.
And then sandwiched in between Just Like You Imagined and No You Don't. Those 3 tracks. Jeez, man.
It's hard not to listen to that album all the way through.
Right.
You kind of want to. There's like certain songs that belong together, like Heartbreaker and Living, Loving, Made by Led Zeppelin. Like, you have to hear those songs back to back.
Useful Idiot and 46 and 2.
Oh my
God.
God.
Like, I need to hear that record just kind of skipping.
I love Tool, but good Lord.
I mean, you kind of need those, bro, because when you're writing 30-minute tracks, you're going to need some silly shit to break the tension.
Half of their album is all that silly shit, the Jacob's Ladder, and You know, they release an album with like 6 actual tracks on it. They basically release an EP with a bunch of filler. Oh, okay.
But yeah, like the disc version of that has none of the skits.
Of what?
On Fear Inoculum.
Really?
Yeah, the album is not meant to be listened to on CD because it's not they couldn't fit the whole project on.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, Chocolate Chip Drip for sure is on it. Now, if that's not proof that Danny Carey is not an octopus from a different planet playing drums in a band from LA.
Didn't they collaborate with Trent on something? Or they were supposed to, were they part of, some of them were part of Tapeworm?
Yeah, it was Maynard, and at that time he was like the beginning stages of A Perfect Circle.
Right.
So that's when Danny Lohner kind of like jumped ship. But it was Trent, Danny Lohner, Maynard, and I forgot who else, but it was a fourth dude. And the only evidence of their music out there is Passive, which A Perfect Circle ended up used to be called Vacant when they were doing it live back in the day.
Which was a much better version than the recorded version, I think.
Yeah, no.
I like
how tight it sounds on Passive, but I like the overall instrumentation and just how it sounds on Vacant. It was just it sounds live, so you can tell it's not studio glistening.
And they all toured together for Murder Noms and The Fragile, which all came out at the same time, right? They all came out in 99, 98.
That concert was May 17th, 2000.
And
at least the one at the Miami Arena. That day, maybe like an hour before we dipped out, it was the first time I ever, and the only time I ever smoked heroin.
Whoa.
Yeah. Spoiler alert, right? But whatever, it wasn't. It's not like I said that. I'm like, oh my God, my precious. But whatever, we did. Like, we saw fucking Perfect Circle and 9 Inch Nails.
Whatever. All I remember is thinking that A Perfect Circle was really Tool. When the songs came out on the radio, we were just like, nah, this is a lie. This is Tool playing a joke on us and being another band.
I mean, Sean was hell-bent on proving that was Tool. Yeah. Like, ain't no way in hell that's Tool. Like, listen to the drums. There's no way. Like, I mean, at that point of fandom that we had with Maynard, I would get maybe out the gate. You're not, kind of like a casual person. You might not know the difference, but we were fans. Like, yeah.
And that was a great show. But I mean, and it was great to see A Perfect Circle, and I saw them a few more times after that. But that was my first 9 Inch Nails show.
Mine as well.
And
it was Trent's birthday that day.
Was it?
Yeah, he's Taurus, May 17th.
Oh. Well, it was great. Is that one?
Yeah, was
did Lenny Kravitz, was that the one where Lenny Kravitz walked through the crowd?
Most likely, because I remember hearing stories about him walking around smelling like 100 armpits.
He would smell bad.
Do you, Lenny?
And it doesn't matter because he's Lenny Kravitz and he's, basically a rock god, at he that point. He kind of
is. He's a sick-ass musician.
He's very underrated. The people don't give him enough love. Lenny Kravitz is great. Yeah, that show with Trent, man, watching him, and they were still a little wild then. Then the antics stopped. Once he's like, I can't destroy all this gear every night.
Yeah, by the time they were doing the Fragility tour, that was all out of pocket.
Oof.
For him. All that equipment was his. So he can't really afford to be doing a Woodstock performance every night.
Yeah, for sure. You got a long
that
tour.
That shit sounded hilarious when all that mud started getting in the gears and started drying out and the short circuiting, all that shit. Have you heard the performance?
I know I've seen it. No, I've never nitpicked it.
It sounds like garbage.
Does it?
You see the images and like, that has got to be the best 9 Inch Nails concert ever.
No, wrong.
And no, because there's probably shit in that mud.
They all probably.
And I believe that was the first performance that Red Hot Chili Peppers had with Dave Navarro. Is when they came out with the light bulbs.
Oh, yeah.
That was his first performance with that band.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Woodstock. what a shame we could not be like decent human beings and not, set shit on fire and rape each other like a bunch of Neanderthals at a concert about peace and love. Because when was that last one? When was the last?
99.
99. Wolf. When was
They might have done another one after.
They did two. They did.
It was 94 and 99.
Okay.
The 99 is when Limp Bizkit was on.
Right.
They were causing no, I mean they were not helping the cause.
Limp Bizkit.
I will not hear an unkind word of the musicianship of that band. The quality of work they put out, and Fred Durst specific, I could do without him. Give me the band without Fred on it, and I'll listen to them all day.
Limp Bizkit and Creed are so lucky the internet and cancel culture weren't around back then.
They canceled themselves, fuck.
Yeah, they eventually did. They eventually, went by the wayside when newer metal came around. God, Creed was terrible.
I didn't mind some of their stuff. Like the first two albums were straight.
They had one good song. It was Bullets. That was it.
Well, that's for damn sure.
That was it.
That I will not deny.
That is their only good song. Don't come with me with no arms wide open bullshit. Okay, it's not a good song.
I'm about to get a 2-piece and a biscuit, Scott Stapp.
So after the Fragile, I mean, we completely skipped over Broken. It's like whatever, Broken EP,
and the remixes Fixed had some fire remixes on it.
He's got a lot of remixes. There's a few remix albums, right?
Yeah, there's
Is there one for like every release after?
Up until The Fragile. Everything else has been its own stationary album. Made singles that have some remixes on it. Well, no remix album until year zero.
Zero, right.
With the remix.
Which that was a really good remix
album. I love
too.
That because it was the whole album. It wasn't like 5 remixes of
right
Closer, like Further Down the Spiral had. And then depending which one, if you got the French version that had some extra tracks that the American release didn't have, then you're like, oh my God. Yeah. And that's where I got a bunch of those instrumentals when I did that Pinocchio tape that I mentioned last episode.
Right.
It was all those remixes. There was so many
Well, didn't it come with like a data disc with like all the stems and stuff?
They did that it was one of their albums after year zero. I believe was it Ghost?
Maybe it was Ghost.
I think the first Ghost, or the first 4 Ghosts.
Right.
I personally like the 5 and 6 better, but
that was an interesting collection of music. It's all like just leftovers, but that
no, that was. I don't think it was all leftovers.
I think some of it was leftovers. Some of it
does sound like full on leftovers.
Like maybe he had like part of whatever it became was leftovers from those sessions. Right. That just never became part of the album. Like you look at like Prince. Holy crap, he had like albums that he never released. He just recorded albums worth of music and just never put it out.
Yeah, man, those Ghost tracks. I believe it's Ghost 28. That track is the one Lil Nas X used,
right,
for Old Town Road. I mean, shit, it got trending on Grammy though. Yeah, because he's accredited a sample on it, so he's gonna get his due.
Oh yeah, I mean, not like he needs another Grammy.
Yeah, for real.
He's got a Grammy, a Golden Globe, an Oscar. He just needs a Tony, right, to get his EGOT.
Right. I mean, he got for Social Network, it was a Grammy and the Oscar, and I believe the American Music Award that same year. But that's, it's for the poors. I'm playing.
He needs a Tony. They need to do like Downward Spiral, the musical, and then he can get his Tony Award. Hey, right. If you two did like a garbage ass Spider-Man, I'm sure Trent could do something.
That was you two that did that?
Yes.
Are you serious?
I'm pretty sure. Use your search box. Spider-Man musical. Come on.
That doesn't even sound like a good time.
It was just like running things into the ground. God, especially comic books.
Turn Off the Dark. Is that what it was called?
Yeah, is it?
Oh, music, Bono and the Edge.
There you go.
Ding, 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 ding.
That was right.
But speaking of U2, have you heard the U2 cover 9 Inch Nails did?
Ooh, of what?
Oh, I'm going to pull this up because previous activities don't let me remember what the actual song was.
U2's good. I like U2.
Zoo Station.
Zoo Station. Okay.
6 minute and 28.
I mean, that's
cover.
definitely a song
It's dope.
for them that they would,
Right.
Sounds like
That's
something
very
Trent would
drony,
pick.
very drony, but it's perfect cover. I mean, among some of one of the covers they did was that Gary Newman on Things Falling Apart.
Another great album.
Yeah, the remixes.
Yeah.
Dude, Complications of the Flesh. That shit is nowhere on any of the streaming services.
Really?
Yeah. You get the New Flesh.
Listen, streaming services, they got a lot of catching up to do, especially YouTube Music. Let me talk a little shit about YouTube Music.
Go ahead, play.
Because they don't have any.
Let them have it.
They have one Jimi Hendrix album, and it's Band of Gypsies, and that's it. Yes. Which, I need to hear some Jimmy every once in a while, and you took away my Google Play Music. Why? It was a perfect app, and you ruined it. All you had to do was change the colors and change the name up top and keep the same layout, and everybody would have been happy. But no, now you got to block comments in your community pages because everybody's pissed off that they can't sort their fucking playlist.
You like that shit's like wet spaghetti. Like, hey, good luck, buddy.
It's so bad. Oh, but ad-free YouTube is the best.
I renege. It's not Complications of the Flesh that's not on there. It's the New Flesh.
Is not.
Yes. Because there was 3 import singles for We're in This Together. New Flesh was on one of them. Complications of the Flesh was on another one.
How many Halos are there?
Damn. I wasn't ready.
I
think
gotcha.
like 33.
So if you don't know, every release of theirs is a Halo. Halo 1. Is Halo 1 Pretty Hate Machine?
Oh, wow. No, it's not. Is it Pretty Hate? Yeah, I'm pretty sure. No, that's Halo 2. Halo 1 is
the single for...
Or it had like a Down In It.
Oh, that's a good one too.
With a Down In It Skin, Shred, and Singe remixes.
So 30, how many? 33? 31?
Going off the top of my head, I haven't clicked on Bad Witch.
That one.
That's Halo 32.
Yeah.
That's pretty good range.
That one was not my favorite.
Of the 3 EPs, that's actually my favorite one.
Really?
Dude, because that David Bowie sounding ass God Break Down the Door.
That was like the only good song on there.
That sounds like something out of Earthling.
Which one was the one that had like that retro video game thing?
I believe
The
it
video.
was Add Violence. Retro video thing.
Yeah, the video was like a video game, like a space video game or something. No?
You got me on that one, buddy.
Oh man, we have to find that.
Yeah, those EPs were such a weird release. And I had bought the physical component to not the actual events.
Oh, okay.
Because they didn't release a physical like CD copy. I mean, they eventually released it on vinyl, but that thing came with like basically like the image of the cover, like covered in some black soot or some, like it was a black powder. I'm like, what the fuck is this shit? And it was a clever way. And at first I see what they were doing, but I'm like, bitch, you got this black dust on my hand. What the fuck is this? And it just like, it was weird, but it forced you to grab the item and pay attention to it. Like the way you would normally do when you're listening to music. Like, you flip through the lyrics.
Right.
You find out that Dr. Dre was on the track with him, that kind of shit.
Yeah,
like that's how you find the other bands.
And we're like, I feel like we're missing that so much because,
Not us, because we're buying that shit. We're buying the vinyls, and especially you got that.
But I'm not buying all of them. You know what I mean? Like, I'm still, like, I consume most of my new music through YouTube Music. So I'm not out there like buying like I normally would. Like I didn't even buy. I'm a huge 311 fan, and I didn't buy the last album, even though it was really good. Just for whatever reason, I didn't buy it. And I had like the previous like 4 albums on vinyl. I was like, fuck it, I'm just gonna buy them.
You dedicated yourself to getting the vinyls from one point forward.
Yeah, and then I was like, okay, whatever. I'm not gonna get this one. Well, I have a few other ones. I have Transistor, and I'm gonna get them all. But yeah, man, Nine Inch Nails he's always got really cool packaging and really cool. Like, what was it Year Zero that had like the
heat sensitive ink?
Yes.
Hell yeah.
That was so cool. I thought that was such a neat thing that they did for the CD. You know, you touch the CD and it would start to like change colors. You know who else had a lot of really cool packaging? It was Pearl Jam. And that started with Vitalogy.
Damn, that back?
Yes. The Vitalogy release was not like your standard like jewel case. It was like a cardboard with like the lyrics were like attached inside. And then when they released what is it, the one with Hail Hail, whatever album that was, it came with like Polaroids that had the lyrics on them. They were like little printed cards that looked like Polaroid photos.
Oh, that's awesome.
With the lyrics and stuff on them. Yeah, Pearl Jam had some cool stuff. And I kind of miss that. Like, I've bought some albums recently, and I can't say that anything that was included in the album was like super duper great. You know, maybe Of Montreal. Of Montreal. I mean, but that it was even a while ago. I bought what was it?
That was No Code, by the way.
No Code. There we go. I think that was the first album I saw them on tour for, was No Code, and that was at the baseball stadium in Fort Lauderdale. And when they were boycotting Ticketmaster, so you had to call some 1-800 number to get a ticket, and I actually got through. That was a great show. But yeah, man, the packaging for The Fragile was great. The CD,
dude, even downwards or as far back as Broken.
Yeah, they were using
and it wasn't just a traditional digipack. It was one that opened up into like a cross or an X, whatever.
Right.
Whatever the orientation of the package you got. I don't think Fix was like that. I believe it was just more of a traditional digipack. Downward Spiral had the thin, the European case. Like when you would get a CD single.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know, the cases, you got the thin.
Really?
Yeah, dude.
Downward Spiral was like that?
Yeah.
Oh,
and then when they re-released it as a dual disc.
Oh, that's what it was. Okay.
Then
I see it.
And then
You got 2 copies of that shit.
No,
and what's
bro,
the other one?
I got 3.
Oh, my bad.
The original, because they all have a different Halo number. The same number, same number, different letter. So the original, I believe it's Halo 8, and then you got Halo 8 Deluxe Edition DE. Halo 8 DD for dual disc.
Wow.
There's Downward Spiral Halo 8 V for vinyl.
I mean, there's something to be said about being that meticulous about your music and your releases, and it showed like foresight by when he started releasing, and he called it. Do you know why he calls them that?
You would think as you know, big a fan that we are of that band,
mm-hmm.
that we would know, particularly me, because I like to finding out random info, and that's one thing I've never bothered to look up. I just accepted it. I treat it more as a way to track
right
releases, of which I'm maybe missing 2 on CD.
Huh.
I mean, I don't have every Halo ever dropped ever, but I got a significant amount.
Well, there's only like 32 of them. Oh, well, plus
numerically speaking, yes.
The DDs and the
right.
Vs and
the BDs.
Watch out. You might.
No, but yeah, messing with Trent back in the day, you probably would have caught that shit.
Probably got it when he was doing, gosh.
Hanging out with Manson?
Yeah. What's that? What was the first album? Portrait of an American Family?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow. That was a great album. But you could tell there was Trent all over that. You could tell like you could hear his influence there.
And not even as much. It was on until he did Antichrist Superstar. Because at that point, it was him playing the instruments, and it was between him and Chris Brenna. Danny Lohner. I got Sean Beavan that mixed the album. He would mix a bunch of stuff. And Dave Ogilvy that did shit for Ministry and Skinny Puppy. I think maybe even Throbbing Gristle, like a bunch of those old industrial bands.
Throbbing Gristle. I always like that name.
Right?
It's an
Right?
interesting
Just like Meat Beat Manifesto.
Meat Beat Manifesto. Yeah, all the you know, and I never really got into I never got heavy into any of the other, like the less mainstream stuff, because let's face it, Trent was like a lipstick goth.
Right.
he was bubblegum goth. He was the face of it for everybody else. He wasn't,
He was a tortured soul that didn't mind being looked at or being admired.
The cards fell the right way for him, for sure. Because what prevented, a KMFDM or any of those guys,
I mean, one would argue KMFDM had a bigger, for me speaking, I first was more aware of KMFDM's music and not really from where they're from or any other behind the scenes shit than I was of 9 Inch Nails through the Mortal Kombat soundtrack.
Oh, okay.
Because, dude, that and Fear Factory, that was the first time I ever heard Fear Factory.
Yeah,
first time
Fear
I ever
Factory.
heard that band, Geezer. It was Geezer Butler from Black Sabbath, the bass player, had a side project where it was him and the singer from Fear Factory.
Oh, really?
So you're getting on
I
that
never heard of
soundtrack
them.
2 singers. This dope ass song.
What soundtrack is this?
Mortal Kombat, the
Mortal
first
Kombat.
movie.
Okay.
The one with Highlander as Raiden.
Oh, yeah. Listen, the only song anybody knows from that movie is the fucking techno Mortal Kombat song.
Oh, yeah. The Immortals.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah, well, that's what the group is called.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's all anybody's ever going to remember from that soundtrack.
And I'm over here, like, some of my favorite metal bands ever. Like, I first found out about on that. Even the score, the dude that composed that music, George S. Clinton, dude, the score for that shit was so good.
Sound movie soundtracks were just a great way to find out about bands, and obviously Trent has made quite a living off the soundtrack game. And not only were they on soundtracks, was he on a soundtrack as 9 Inch Nails, because they were on the Crow soundtrack, right?
Right. Natural Born Killers the
Crow soundtrack song was a cover too, right?
Right. Yeah, Dead Souls. Joy Division.
What did you say was the one after that?
Natural Born Killers.
Natural Born Killers.
And random like factoid. For the longest time, I could have sworn Richard Patrick from Filter was the only musician to appear in every Crow soundtrack. And then I read the notes. I'm like, no, Trent actually performed Dead Souls by himself. Because he was in 9 Inch Nails.
Right. Yeah,
He never really, he didn't play on studio.
He was just a touring musician.
He might have played on Broken and Fixed. Because that was around the time he was really hard in that band.
Listen, Short Bus was that album was sick, but I don't know what.
Dude, Jurassical, dude. On the Crow too.
You wanna take my picture? Song sucked.
No,
Sorry.
dude, I don't want to take your picture. Every so often that song does not bother me, but I don't think it's a great song.
Who the hell plays that song? Listen, I want to know how many soundtracks Hey Man, Nice Shot was on, because it seemed like that was in every movie trailer ever from the year it was released to 2000 something.
So maybe 2 years ago.
Yeah.
I swear every few years.
Hey Man, Nice Shot was everywhere.
It's a great song. But dude, Metallica has more songs than Enter Sandman. Move it on.
Yeah, listen, don't even get me started with that shit. Radiohead, Bush, fucking even the Beastie Boys. Nobody ever digs. The Beastie Boys
Dancing, bro.
probably get more airplay. Yeah,
It's more than just sweet dreams of beautiful people. Come on, guys.
Oh, it sure is.
Well, man, Trent has been part of some great soundtracks.
Yeah,
Produced by him particularly. Like, not even just him performing on it, but the two he put together.
which what
Natural Born Killers, he did.
Okay, as kind of like the music supervisor.
Yeah, and like all the he's the one that sequenced all the audio samples from the movie in between some of the tracks, leading into like Something I Can Never Have.
Okay.
And then Burn.
Who was the one who did Lost Highway?
Trent.
Was that Trent too?
Yeah.
What did Billy Corgan do? Didn't he do one? Didn't he do
Billy
that?
Corgan was on
Lost Highway?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He had that song I, which speaking of Nine Inch Nails, there's a Trent remix of that song.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Dude, it's really dope. It sounds like you hear, you're like, oh, there's an extra crunch to it. You know, that was the first time like they sounded super electronic-y around the time Darcy dipped out.
Right, when they released that Machinas album.
No, Ava Adore.
Oh, was that the name of the album?
Yeah.
Oh, that was right. That was before
Adore was the song.
Adore was the album. That was another very underrated band. You know, I went into I was at a record store the other day. I already have like a list of just classic albums that I want on vinyl because, you know, I want at least one album from like every band that I really, really love. And so I went in there and I had my list, right? So I started naming stuff on the list. I was like, oh, do you have any God Lives Underwater? And he's like, no. He kind of like scoffed at me and I was like, okay, well.
You're the fifth guy today.
Yeah, I doubt it. I was probably the fifth guy ever who ever asked for God Lives Underwater. You know, Chemical Brothers, he didn't have any. I asked for like a particular Beastie Boys album. He didn't have it. And I was like, oh, do you have Siamese Dream? And he was like, man, he's like, you can't even find that anywhere. He's like, you're going to pay like a ridiculous amount of money for that record because he was explaining to me like the record, the label sets the price because of how often they print them. So I guess if they do like a super limited run, they can charge like $100 a record. And I was just like, really? Why? Like, why? Just like I found a copy of was it Ultra? I think it was Ultra by Depeche Mode. But it was like $40. I was like, come on, guys. No. It's not even like a special edition. It's just like straight $40 Depeche Mode record. I was like, no thanks.
Just so you can hear Barrel of a Gun. Or It's No Good on vinyl. No, get the fuck out of here.
That's a good album. Sister of Night. I think is Home on that one. Is Home on that album?
No, Home is
Violator.
Sounds of the Universe.
No, Home is not. Home is on Ultra or Violator. Home is not on Sounds of the Universe. I guarantee you that because that's like one of my favorite songs. It's got to be on one of those two albums.
Playing the Angel.
No, it's not on.
No, are you sure?
I'm 100%. 100% sure. Because I thank you for bringing me here. Martin Gore. There's another musical
genius. Right, it is
Violator.
Wow. Hey.
Yeah, and it was on one of those because
I could have sworn it was a newer song.
I love all their later stuff. Everything after Exciter is like,
with the exception of Exciter,
solid. Yeah, Exciter was like a weird moment for them musically, but everything after that was just so good. Delta Machine and Sounds of the Universe was that was a great album.
Playing the Angel and Sounds of the Universe, those two albums.
Yeah,
dude, Exciter had some fire tracks though, like Comatose was really good.
Yeah, Comatose and
The Dead of Night.
I Feel Loved, which was like their dance song.
Right.
Doon, 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 doon.
Their traditional Depeche Mode song.
Yeah, everybody was ripping off that Days Go By song. Wait, was that Dirty Vegas or something? Is that what that was?
Was that Dirty? Yeah.
Days go by and still as the Mitsubishi commercial. I think that was it. Who cares?
See, that's a band I would like Trent to get involved with somehow. Or somehow remix each other's shit, do like 2 songs, 3 songs, particularly with Martin Gore, because he's the main dude.
Yeah, I didn't even know that that Dave Gahan didn't write a song until their last album, their last
Are you
release.
serious?
Yeah,
What?
that Dave Gahan
Wow.
had never penned a song for Depeche Mode until that last album.
Not Delta Machine, the one
No,
after.
the Spirit, I think it's called.
Oh shit! Wow.
Yeah. Yep. I saw it, and I finally saw them for that tour. They were down here. I saw them for that Spirit tour, which was what a great show. Even though that guy's retirement age,
Right,
he
right.
could move into Century Village like today.
They'll accept him, no questions asked.
with his shirt off, dancing around, just like so much energy in that show. So good.
Yeah,
But-
just like when we saw 9 Inch Nails with Gary Newman.
Oh yeah.
Dude, Gary Newman was moving around.
That was a surprisingly good set. I had low expectations for Gary Newman. I was just like, oh, he's gonna play Cars and metal, and then
He played half that album.
what's the one? M.E., which is Where's Your Head At? Basement Jack samples it for Where's Your Head At?
Oh, nice.
That's a Gary Newman song.
Well, no, I may reach into my crate right quick.
It's on that album, right? M.E.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's right after Films. I don't like the films. Dude, Metal's on here.
That's a great album, The Pleasure Principle.
Dude, sonically, I love this album. It laid such a good groundwork for the shit Trent was doing early on.
Mm-hmm.
Like, not so much after he stopped using some of those sounds. Dude, I would love to hear Martin Gore and Trent partner up.
That would be like a super group on its own.
And not
So two of them.
and have Gary Newman singing. How about that?
What? I know.
Nerdgasm.
Yeah. Well, look, Trent's busy with soundtracks. He's doing Disney movies now.
Oh yeah, that's right. He's tapping into that Disney pool.
You getting that Disney money, baby.
What? He
Dude.
sure is. Dude, I hope he keeps pumping out these soundtracks.
I mean, the have you seen Soul?
Bro, incredible movie.
Yeah. I mean, I if you didn't, I'd understand because I have children, so we just put cartoons on for them,
First
even
of
though
all,
it's
he
not
scored
really
it.
age appropriate. But
He scored it.
yeah,
I'm gonna watch it.
yeah. No, it was great. It was so good. I love the movie, and I love the stuff that he did, and he worked with and obviously on the other side of that was like the jazz influence that kind of like pushed the whole story, which was John Baptiste, but just how it all like came together. Oh man, wow. I would totally. And then and I can't believe you're showing me the Soul score, because Disney, those rotten bastards, they sent me an email that was like, hey, you want to buy some Disney vinyl? And I was like, oh shit, no, don't tell me there's Disney vinyls to be bought, because they had that, and they had a bunch of other movie soundtracks, and I was just like, man, if these are records I can let my kids scratch up.
Right.
Let me buy a couple, but they were still expensive, man. I'm just gonna buy a couple of the greatest hits ones. Ooh, what's that
How to
one?
Destroy Angels.
Oh, is that what that album looks like?
Yeah.
Again, something I listen to only on the interwebs. How to Destroy Angels. I did do a remix for.
Oh, I forgot you did that.
Yeah, I forget what song that was, but I did the remix, and I put it on SoundCloud. And then like years later, Sony hit me with
The CND.
yeah. I was like,
Go
bitch,
figure.
Trent gave me those stems. Trent said I could use them.
They're mine.
I gave it like a freestyle vibe, because that's where we grew up, in freestyle.
I mean, growing up down here, like it's either booty music
Yeah,
or freestyle
man.
or Spanish music. That was your options back in the day.
Yeah, because rock was not big. We had rock stations, which I guess we have more of a rock station now, because for a while there wasn't a rock station.
I mean, yeah, especially when Zeta called it quits.
Yeah, when Zeta and what a shame that nobody filled that void quicker, because think about I I can't imagine they weren't making like a ton of money on those festivals that they threw. The Zeta Fest and the Weenie Roast. Yeah, but still, man, you were I mean, now you could charge a couple $100 for something like that. For one of those, for a Zeta Fest?
Hell yeah. Dude, with the quality of bands that were performing on some of those?
Dude, I mean, at the time, they were good. It was like...
At the time.
Stabbing Westward and Faith No More.
Oh,
and,
my God.
Faith No More was probably the dirtiest pit I've ever been in my life.
Damn, like that?
Like that, yes. As soon as Faith No More hit the stage... People went buck wild.
Well, I've seen Mike Patton twice.
Oh really? Oh,
Open for Tool.
Tomahawk
And Fantomas.
They're putting a new album out too, right?
Tomahawk. I believe they dropped one recently.
They just dropped one recently. Yeah, that's what I thought.
It's too much for me, but it's dope.
I actually saw an old SNL the other night from 1990, and it was Faith No More playing Epic, and I was like, wow. This is old.
See, and that was another band I was aware of,
right.
But was not really into.
But everybody knew Epic just because it was a popular song. I mean, but yeah, Mike Patton and all his crazy stuff. Oh, fucking Lovage. Have you ever heard Lovage?
No.
For real? Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I know about
you don't know
something
what to do.
musical Jose doesn't know about. This is a special moment, people. I'm going to send you that album.
You're seeing me very exposed right now.
Yeah, I'm going to hook you up with that because that is a great, it's Dan the Automator and Mike Patton and
isn't that Peeping Tom?
A French singer lady. I forget her name. No, it's called Lovage.
Is the band.
Right.
Or the collective.
Or the album. Whatever. It's called Lovage.
Because I believe Peeping Tom is with Dan the Automator. Is it like just guest upon guest?
No,
on the album?
It's mostly...
It's just them three?
Patton and Dan the Automator on the beat.
Yeah, he's such a spastic dude on live. Like, it's a lot of shrieking and...
This is what it looks like.
I have seen that image.
Nathaniel Merriweather presents Lovage, music to make love to your old lady by. Oh yeah, you're gonna play this album?
Boys? Isn't that Nathaniel?
No, Nathaniel Hornblower.
Oh, my bad.
Was MCA's director alter ego. You're gonna play this like 3 times in a row. I guarantee you, it's that good.
Lovage.
There's some songs on there that are just fantastic. Stroker Ace and Strangers on a Train. Oh, Strangers on a Train. Great track. If I can figure out that little Spotify thing on Anchor, we're going to play Strangers on a Train right now. So I don't know if I figured that out or not. But
I guess we'll all find out later.
And if not, I'm just going to leave this in because... You know, that's real life.
Oh, damn. Well, at least Apple Music only has...
Do they have the album?
Just the instrumental.
Oh, boo. What about Spotify?
About to find out. Oh, my God. Yo, my fat fingers keep pressing I instead of O.
Listen, I made my keyboard bigger, and I still do that stuff. Like, I can't seem to, like, really nail it down.
There we go. Because the instrumental doesn't have that dude on the cover.
Oh, yes, bro. Do yourself a favor and listen to that.
Wow, look at Mike Patton in that image.
Yeah.
That's a child of the 90s.
Yeah, you should have seen him on the SNL from 1990, dude, with like the bright, loud, striped pants and like the funky shirt and like climbing all over the set and stuff. I mean, it was pretty ridiculous. But, you know, I saw Trent a few more times. I never saw he obviously 9 Inch Nails not gonna play no damn Zeta Fest.
But they will play Global Gathering.
Yes. And we went to that, which was another awesome festival that doesn't happen in Miami anymore because Miami sucks and they only want to do what's that?
Ultra.
Oh God, I went to Ultra once, and it was only because the Chemical Brothers were there.
See, not even them. I do enjoy Chemical Brothers, and I was like, oh, the Prodigy's never gonna play when I want to go, and I don't like being around that environment too much. Come on, buddy. Like, I always wanted to see Prodigy there. Like, to me, in the back of my dumbass head, that's where I thought I needed to see Prodigy. And then Keith Flint passed.
Yep.
And I'm like, give up hope. See,
Well,
that was my Moby Dick that got away.
Right.
Is seeing Prodigy and seeing David Bowie.
Yeah.
Never saw Bowie. I'm like, damn.
I never saw STP. I never saw STP. I know they played a Zeta Fest that I didn't go to.
That was really dope.
That was like the only one I didn't go to. I went to like the 2 or 3 before and like the 2 or 3 after. That one that was in Bayfront with STP and the Deftones and
Veruca Salt and Nonpoint.
Yeah, please stop. Like, I didn't see any of that. I didn't, and that, to me, that was the most upsetting because I felt like STP, you know, for all the grunge bands, and they kind of were, but they weren't a grunge band. I never felt like they were like a real grunge band.
Does it really matter though?
It doesn't, but they kind of got lumped in there, you know. But as a band, their albums, holy shit, man. Every one of those albums is just amazing. Even the last one that they did had a little bit of like a...
Not the one with Chester, right?
No, not the last one with Scott Weiland.
Oh, okay. Because that new dude is really good.
The new dude is good. And even the EP with Chester Bennington was pretty good too. But I never got to see them, man. And every one of them, I felt like those guys were gonna be like my Zeppelin, and they were, because one of the guys died.
Yeah,
one of the guys died like 6 albums in.
6 STP albums.
6 STP albums, yes.
Or 12 Bar Blues and
no. That
okay.
No, I don't count that.
Dude, I love that album.
Really?
I love it.
Not a big fan.
But the audio mixing of that thing is trash.
Yeah.
That shit was no low ends at all. It was all super high end. It was like, dude, who mixed this? And then he decides to join forces with the remaining members of Guns N' Roses, and then you get Velvet Revolver.
Okay, so I saw Velvet Revolver because I was like, man, I gotta see Scott Weiland.
Twice.
I saw them at the Hard Rock. They came on like an hour late, but I was like, whatever.
I had to give them that adrenaline, whatever, the shot of like the same thing they did to Homegirl in Pulp Fiction.
Yeah, but yeah, Global Gathering, like a one-time thing. What a great lineup, and it just never happened again. Like many festivals, just like Longarado and all the Zeta Fest stuff. Such a shame, bro. There's just no incentive for everybody to come way the hell down here, and that's what the problem is. It costs them more money to get down here and then get out of here to like another big city, like an Atlanta, where they're gonna have a huge crowd. I talked to when we went to see IMX.
Oh man, that's awesome.
We saw IMX in Atlanta, and I was talking to his manager, and he was like, "Oh, where are you guys from?" I was like, "We're from Miami." I was like, "Why don't you guys go down there? There's like a bunch of, there's like culture room and stuff that you could easily pack that place." We saw them there as Sneaker Pimps.
Yeah, and ours. The show that nobody ever went to.
Oh, vast.
The show that never happened.
The show that never happened. Yeah. But the guy was like, he's like, we'd never go down that far. He's like, we don't go into Florida because there's nothing there. You're either hitting Orlando for maybe a decent crowd, and if you make it all the way down to like Miami, or else you got to pack West Palm. Even 311 was playing the little Sunset Cove Amphitheater, which has like no seats. It's no seats.
Not Meisner Park, right?
No, not Meisner. It's called Sunset Cove, and it's like a park. And
that's down here.
It's up in like
Boynton Beach or something.
Yeah, Boynton, West Palm. I don't know where, but it's up that way, and it's literally like a 5-foot stage, and there was like you were able to like walk right up to it with 311 playing, and this was like maybe 3 albums ago, maybe like Universal Pulse.
Wow.
Yeah.
Recent?
Yes. And
Jeez.
there's no seats. It's just grass. Yeah. And
That's sick.
it was awesome. But that's the thing. Like, you know, you got to play those kinds of places. And that's, you know, anyway, that's an IMX, you know.
Yeah, because most of those, most groups, they either start the tour down here.
Right.
So it's less of an expense, or they'll end it here. Because I remember Ozfest Forever was the last show was down here.
I think when I saw Tame Impala, it was their last show down here when they played at the Fillmore.
Nice. So I got to see Gravity Kills at their last concert.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. At that Culture Room.
Oh, damn, for real?
Dude, I took some sick pictures back when I was taking photography at Miami-Dade.
Another one of those bands that's like, you know, the Stabbing Westwards.
Amazing.
I got to see Stabbing Westward a couple times. Gravity Kills was really good.
They were opening for Godhead.
They were opening for Godhead? Wow.
I mean, Godhead was in their prime.
Yeah. But still, Gravity Kills.
That was Gravity Kills' last concert.
Gravity Kills was big, man. Godhead.
I mean, if that CD wasn't so far away, the Godhead album, I'd go get the ticket.
So when else have we seen? And then when was the next time we saw Trent? Then he did the tours with Jane's Addiction.
Yeah, I went to that.
I went to that too. And then with Soundgarden, they did another tour. I went to that one.
There was the show that never happened. The one with Queens of the Stone Age. Goddamn hurricane ruined that bullshit.
Was that the Wilma one?
Yes.
That was on my birthday. Yes. That was on my birthday.
I was so excited to see Queens of the Stone Age again.
Bro, and you know, like 2 nights later, Depeche Mode played at the same place. I was so mad. I was like, man, I'm not gonna get my refund in time to pay for the Depeche Mode tickets, and I missed 9 Inch Nails on my birthday. I was very sad. I didn't even at the time. I mean, what album was that for Queens? Was that like the Lullabies?
Yes.
Okay, so then I had heard of them already.
Yeah, because their big blow up was songs for the
Songs
Deaf.
for the Deaf. Yeah.
That was one of my favorite albums of all time, dude.
Yeah, that was a really good album. All the little guest spots on it.
Dude, even Twiggy's on it. He's one of the radio DJs.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I got to see them for that tour. For that album.
Oh really?
At the Culture Room. Like, I remember the day specifically because that was the first tattoo I got was that day.
Oh shit.
So I'm like, oh, I'm gonna go, bro. Queens of Stone Age, March 3rd, 2003. It was 333.
Nice.
I was like, oh, what? And it happened to be a full moon that day. So it's like, oh, I'm going to go see Queens of Stone Age for sure. And they had Dave Grohl on drums.
Oh, nice.
Bro, that place was so packed.
Dave Grohl, who also played on With Teeth.
And that's how you bring it full circle, guys.
Full circle.
These little tangents are great.
This whole hour plus has been like a tangent. But it all started with, did it even start with 9 Inch Nails? Probably not. But that's what we were supposed to talk about.
Technically, it ends with 9 Inch Nails because that's how long those, the nails they used to put in the coffins.
Oh.
Too. Supposedly the nails that they used to crucify Jesus was also 9 Inch.
Well, I mean.
You're like,
who cares?
But whatever, that's how you bring it back, guys.
That's how you, you know. That's how you get people riled up. That's how you get Christians protesting at your concerts.
Oh, I saw some of that the first time I saw Manson. Of course.
I'm sure you did.
And it was before Columbine, so it was like right as people fucking with him at the concerts was at the Apex. And there was already a few shows after Hole dropped off the tour.
Hole. Yeah, look,
because that tour was, I forgot what it was originally called, but it turned into the Rock is Dead tour.
Oh, okay.
It was Manson headlining, and then it was Monster Magnet.
Wow.
Nashville Pussy. Nashville Pussy got added on, and the show down here had Jack Off Chill opening up.
Really?
So I'm like, oh, I finally got to see Jack Off Chill. Because most of the tour was only 3 bands. You know, that was his peeps.
When was the last time 9 Inch Nails toured as a band? What was the last album they toured
The
for?
video I was just watching before we started recording was the the Black and Gray tour. I believe was for not the actual events. Like one of the 3 EPs, they toured a little bit. It was like a little mini tour, and then that's when he just got bombarded with soundtracks.
They were supposed to tour 2020, right? They were going to go on tour 2020.
I believe so.
Yeah, but
I know for
COVID.
sure Tool. Dude, I can't believe.
Oh, they were supposed to.
Oh my god.
Well, listen, you've waited this long.
What?
For a Tool tour.
Yeah, I'm like, the least I could do is see them come on stage and the roof of the place blow open. Yeah,
it doesn't matter. You're only gonna see Maynard's back anyway.
It's cool. I'm there for all the lasers and shit.
Oh man,
we're gonna be so far away. It doesn't matter if he's facing us or not. Well, I don't give a shit, dude. Miles Davis used to do that all the time.
Oh yeah.
It's like I'm performing with my friends. Morrison. You guys just happen to pay money and see us practice the songs without fucking up.
It's true. That is very true.
Because you're there jamming with your boys or lady friends or anything in between. Yeah. I personally don't give a fuck. I don't feel offended that he turns his back. For one, if he's shy, cool, bro. Hey, you're singing the songs live. I appreciate you coming out of your shell.
I mean, I wish you would have just
soul with us.
Faced the crowd one time, maybe like when he came out, but he was already there with his back turned.
He don't really turn his back; he's just sideways, and it sounds better for him the way he stands. That's why he stands in the back. Like he strategically places himself back there. Aside from, like, I'm sure part of it is come pinganes or sapingo-ish. You know,
yeah, he's kind of a dick. Yeah, he's kind of a dick. He's kind of a dick. But he's Maynard. He can be. He can be. He's had a long...
You know what he's going to tell you? You don't like it, don't come.
Yeah, pretty much. I like it, bro. I like it. Whatever. Just, I'll look at pictures of you online.
I look at the pictures with you in the mohawk or you in the riot gear.
Yeah. See, that's the thing. I see pictures of him at other concerts and he's like facing the crowd. I'm just like, what happened?
And smiling.
Yeah. Engaging.
I mean, he's coming to Florida. There's nothing but a bunch of...
Shit, maybe can you imagine if they toured together?
What?
9 Inch Nails and Tool.
Oh, that'll never happen. It'll take like 40 years for at least a project to coincide enough for them to want to tour together.
They have a project right now, bro. 9 Inch Nails can do their tour they were gonna do 2020, and Tool can keep touring another 5 years on Fear Inoculum.
Right. Or 13 years if they keep this rate.
That's ridiculous, bro. Like, how many concerts did you go to, like, in between the last 2 albums?
A majority of seeing Tool was in between Lateralis and
10,000 Days.
Yeah, because for Lateralis, I saw him 3 times.
And what was the gap there?
5.
5 years?
Yeah, 01, 06.
That's not too bad.
So I saw them 3 times for that, and I saw them once, I believe it was 2016. Yeah, it was 2016. I got to see them. They were just touring randomly.
All right, give me your 9 Inch Nails songs.
Oh, my top 5?
Give me your top 5. I imagine these are gonna be on the playlist.
Yeah, duh. But that's not why I specifically picked these for this list. Okay. That's specifically why they're in the playlist. Do you want to include soundtrack songs or as your favorite track? Because it's kind of cheating. Like, I've always been one of those dudes. Like, I particularly like those artists' songs that are on the soundtracks more. Like Apple of Sodom from Manson. To me, give me that song any day over anything on his albums.
Yeah, I mean, look, if it's his song, it's his song. Is it a cover that's on the soundtrack?
I mean, semantics.
But then it's not. He didn't write the song. He's just reinterpreting the song,
I guess. That's why Sweet Dreams is not in a Manson playlist. I'll make The Perfect Drug, hands down. Like, without question.
Yes.
Video.
Also in my top 5. Yeah, video, song. Yeah.
Because even the extended cut that has like an extra 30-something seconds. Like, the ending part doesn't end abruptly like it does on the soundtrack.
Listen to that. You got to listen to that with headphones on, people.
Oh, dude, for sure.
Got to listen to that with headphones on. All right, what else you got?
Burn.
From
Natural Born Killers.
From Natural Born Killers. Okay. That's a great song.
Such a great... and it's a weird, like, same kind of weird pattern, like, timing. Like it just sounds completely outside of their normal sound.
Now, see, I wondered, did he write those songs specifically for the movies, or again, is that something that he had that he just didn't feel like it fit anything he was doing at the time, and then used it for that? You know, it was like, oh, hey, you know what? I can finally put that song out.
Right. Like it might have been a dope song, but it's like, it doesn't fit.
Right. It doesn't fit what I'm going for right now.
Yeah,
and
like The Perfect Drug sticks out. Like that belongs on no project. If anything, The Fragile.
Yeah.
Because to me, it just sounds like electronic velvet. Like I know it sounds weird, but it sounds velvety to me. Like it's like a machine trying to produce something organic. Like it's just, there's a certain, I don't know, like a Golden Age of Grotesque for Manson has that same kind of weird, like there's a lot of electronic sounds in it. But I look at it and it seems like crushed velvet. Like I don't know. It's weird. I can't explain it. Don't ask me no questions. That's what it feels like to me.
Synesthesia.
Right? Like seeing sounds.
Synesthesia.
That's actually a Frontline Assembly side project.
Of course it is. Of course it is. Yes.
But
the Perfect Drug is, like just listening to the programming, like the drums on that song are just, everything that he put into that song is just like, wow.
And they didn't ever play that song live until recently. Ever. And that's one of Trent's least favorite tracks in his entire discography.
And maybe that's why he was like, this is garbage. I'm going to put this out. He's like, nobody's going to like this song. And then bam.
And Jose came along.
And then everybody's like, this is the greatest song ever.
Then number 3, The Becoming.
Yeah.
That the original version that's on the album and that acoustic version that's on Still.
I mean, you're picking some really like epic songs.
Those are my songs.
There.
Like those are the ones that stick out. Like those are my favorite tracks.
Okay. That's 4?
That's 4. I had put Great Destroyer on Year 0, but then I remembered how awesome Deep was. So the Great Destroyer became my sixth man. Okay.
Deep. So Deep is your number 5?
Is my number 3.
Okay.
The Becoming, number 3. Number 4, Deep. 5, Demon Seed. On the Slip. The last track on the Slip.
The last track on the Slip? I'm going to be honest. I really only know the first like 3 tracks. Because it's not a... How many songs on it?
It's a full album.
It's a full album?
10 tracks.
Yeah, I know. I know there's like maybe within the first 4 to 5 tracks, there's like 3 songs I like.
Like 999,999.
Right.
That's probably the only not like full length song.
Right. And then a 1 million. And then, yeah. Okay.
And Echoplex and Discipline.
Echoplex. Oh, that's a good one. Discipline's good. Echoplex. See, that's the kind of stuff I like. I like, man, top 5, huh? I would definitely, I mean, let's just throw Perfect Drug out of there because everybody loves that song. It's always going to be on a top 5, right? It's on yours.
I mean,
so I won't pick that one.
If I had to remove it,
right,
I'm going to put Somewhat Damaged in that place.
So, yeah, see, that's a good one too. But definitely Burn. I love Burn. That's a great choice. One of my favorite songs is probably Where Is Everybody?
Hell yeah.
Where Is Everybody? Gotta be in my top 5 for them. And Suck. Suck is a good one.
Damn, that's a good one.
Yeah. And oh man, what is that? 3?
And that's actually a cover.
Is it?
Yeah. Although Trent wrote the original song, or he was part of it, that's not a 9 Inch Nails song.
It's not a 9 Inch Nails original.
Pigface.
Oh, I didn't know that. What is that? 3? Burn. Where's Everybody? Suck. I don't know. Maybe like All the Love in the World.
Oh, dude.
Something off With Teeth. With Teeth is such a great album. I love that album. If I was gonna rank the albums, that would probably be like my second favorite.
That's a good one. That's a damn good one.
That's a really good album. Or Only. Only's a great track.
That might be my third favorite album.
Yeah. Oh man, and what other album? Jeez, I'm just wasting time here at
Right?
the end.
Year Zero?
I should be looking at I should be looking at the albums. Yeah, what album didn't we name something off of?
Hesitation Marks?
Hesitation Marks.
Find My Way?
Find My Way. What's the other one? All Time Low.
Yeah.
That's a good song. I really like
Then
that
some
song.
of those remixes that came out early on when the album dropped.
All right, that's it. All Time Low.
Is that the one?
Yeah, well, that'll wrap it up.
All right. Well, that was a good run.
Yeah. Wow, this is going to be a long one. Thanks for listening if you got this far, right? And check out our Instagram where we post stuffs about the artists we talk about, and check out our YouTube where we have our curated playlists of the artists we talk about and all things related to those artists and around them. And what else do we have? Just Instagram and YouTube. Right. I mean, that's enough. We got the Spotify. We'll have the Spotify stuff. We should put a survey up and see who uses what.
Right. And then we'll allocate our funds towards that service. You guys tell us what you want.
Exactly. Yeah, we got to get some listeners.
Right. So if you like what you heard so far, definitely check us out next time when we'll probably be talking about soundtracks.
Sweet.
Right? Because we scratched that a little bit.
In both episodes.
Right?
All right. That sounds good to me. Okay. Here's where music will go.
It's the end cut.
Zero credits.
All right, y'all. Peace.